plenty of different options there.
Definitely. I am going to end off looking at the ships by asking everyone a single question. I'll start with Max. Max, favourite ship out of both of them? Pilot, I should say. Favourite pilot?
Nien Nunn.
Nien Nunn?
Nien Nunn.
Nien Nunn. Gareth?
I want to say Ray, but I spent so much time bigging up the Resistance.
He likes the generic.
I've kind of got to go with the generic now.
Okay.
I will take his original vote of Ray then, because I was so excited to hear about Ray and all the combos.
For me, I actually like the look of Snap Wexley.
Yeah.
As I will say, in Warfare, you've got 4 different sort of abilities, which are offense, defense, mobility, and friction, which is the ability to degrade what your opponent is doing.
Yeah.
And I have always been a mobility player.
Yes.
If given the choice, I will take a mobility upgrade over a defensive one or an offensive one.
And Snap is fast.
Snap is fast, and Snap
Mobility.
gives you that mobility. Yes, exactly. So for me, Snap is the pilot's pilot.
Cool.
Yep.
Put it that
Well,
way.
you heard it from us, guys. The beautiful lot of Fina, saying their favourites, and I'm sure you guys have favourites of your own. But we're going to quickly...
We're not done yet.
We're not done yet,
No,
as
we've got a lot of
obviously
upgrade
we
cards
have
sat
the
here.
last thing to do is upgrade.
Yeah.
It's
Quite a
great,
stack.
terribly.
Whole
There's
load
quite
of
a stack.
beautiful
So-
a number of those are duplicates of the same card. That I
Yeah,
picked.
they are duplicates
Yes.
of the same card, so I'm
So
going
if
to
we
be
quick
dishing
self
these
them out,
out
nice.
as quickly as possible. We're going to get you to do that one, we're going to get you to do that one.
hello.
Do that one. I'm going to take this one because I've been so excited for that. I'll
Yep.
take these ones as well. Who was wanting to do that one?
Which one is that?
That one. I know you two were talking about it.
I'll
so
take
No, I wasn't. I
who-
like that
I'll-
one.
You want? Oh, okay.
Shall
So
we?
it's a bit of a trade around. Yep, cool.
Yep.
Who wanted that? Do you want you to take that one? Yeah. I'll take the last ones because they're technically
Yeah.
good for me. I think. I don't know. So we'll start with
Elite pilot talents down.
Yeah.
We're being offered cake, so I'm going to
We're
say
being
no,
offered
but-
cake. This is the worst timing. But we will take. So while cake is being taken by our lovely Bakura.
Thank you very much.
Would you like mine? You need some fattening up.
Yeah. Sadly, I cannot cake, but the thought is very much appreciated.
But
Cheers.
all right, we're gonna quickly
We would
move
rather
on.
not kill Hedge on screen.
Exactly. Yes. And so I think we start with elite pilot talents and
I
move
think we
down.
should- Yes.
From the looks of it, I actually have both of those.
You have.
Go for it.
So go for it. Shall we
Um,
start off with the?
We'll start off with the one that
Cheapest.
I'm not going to go nuts because I love the thing.
Yeah.
We'll start off with Trick Shot. So, 0 point EPT. It's the second one we've got out in the game so far. Only matched against adaptability.
Yes.
You will have to show this
Oh,
one to the
yes.
camera, as we
It
don't
wasn't-
actually
there's,
have
There's actually no online images for it.
yet. It'll be there soon. You know.
There's one right there.
There's one
there.
there.
you
Oh,
go.
look, there you go. You
There you
know.
go. See, it's online.
When attacking,
Wonderful.
if the attacker's obstructed, you may reroll. You may
No.
roll an additional attack dice.
Absolutely.
Which nicely counters the additional defense dice.
It does match up against that,
But it beats it because attack
an
dice
attack
are
dice
worth
has
more than
more,
defense dice.
has more results on it than a defense dice.
So it actually turns cover into a disadvantage for your opponent.
Yes.
Yeah.
It also pairs nicely with a modification that on large ships that I've been toying with and can't make work. I'm trying to remember the name of it. I've lost it. It's
Tactical jammer.
No, it's the mod.
no, the modification. You
the one
make,
that lets large base ships count as cover.
count as obstructions.
Oh, yeah, tactical jammer.
That is
Tactical jam.
that is
that's
tactical
what I
jam.
said.
Yeah.
So you shoot,
You are right.
so you shoot
Wonderful.
through your own ships that are now obstructions,
Yes.
and get an extra dice.
Absolutely. So, other things that occurred for me with this, as well as Tactical Jammer, is I think this actually works very well on 2 Y-Wing pilots, Horton Sal,
Yeah.
and for Scum, the pilot skill 7,
Cavill.
the Scum pilot, Cavill. And the reason is, both of those get very good rolls, get very good abilities with a turret. In particular, twin laser turret. If you use that with a twin laser turret and happen to be flying around the battlefield so you don't bump into rocks yourself, that's the downside of this,
Yeah,
then
it's-
suddenly Cavill is rolling 5 dice with the twin laser turret,
Yeah.
and Horton Salm is rolling 4 dice with re-rolls on all of his blanks with those twin laser turrets. And you just fly them around the edge of the battlefield, keeping your opponent in range, but making sure you get those rocks in the way.
I
was
find
thinking
that
something.
seems a little bit finicky because
little.
you're forced to, unless you're pairing it with something like a large base ship with a tactical jammer that then becomes an obstruction. I think tactical jammer is going to be paired with trick shot quite nicely.
I think it's got possibility as well.
Something
Yeah.
that
I
don't know if it'll be any
I
good.
I have a good idea.
Zuckuss.
But Zuckuss? Yeah.
Zuckuss adds attack to give
Oh,
defense.
yes.
Which then you're essentially doubling Zuckuss's ability.
Oh
But
my
then you're
goodness.
having to shoot through a rock at them or through a
Tactical
an
jammer. No,
obstruction.
tactical jammer
Yeah.
doesn't work the other way.
No,
Does it
doesn't.
not?
Only
No,
only
a
defending.
tactical jammer works for your attacks. It doesn't work when they're shooting at you.
No, tactical jammer is a large base ship. It may count as an obstruction, I think.
Is
Can
it?
we look that up? Just give
Yeah,
me
have
that
a quick.
wording.
Oh yes, you might be right. Actually.
While you're working on that,
But,
though, I have
but no, with
Go for it, sorry.
with Zuckuss. So Zuckuss,
Say
is,
behind Dengar or an IG, something.
well,
or
just-
Houndstooth.
possibly because obviously his ability is he gets another attack, they get an extra defense.
Yes.
And essentially, with quick shot, he doubles that ability for himself.
Yes.
So you're getting 2, they're getting 2, and as established, attack dice are just better than defense dice.
that is horrible.
We have tactical
you
jammer
are a
up on the
genius,
screen.
Max.
Look at that. It
There is-
can obstruct enemy
enemy
attacks.
attacks.
There is
Not
one
your
word on
own.
that card that means that
Yeah,
my combo
I-
won't work.
I thought that might have
However,
been.
I have a brilliant idea which will be fantastic.
Go for it.
Yeah.
There is a way you can make your own obstacles, isn't there?
There
Yes.
is.
There is a rigged cargo chute that just came out in the last wave,
There is,
which
in
you can
fact.
drop behind you, and suddenly you can trick shot through it.
Yes.
So suddenly you have
can,
that.
yeah.
So that is an interesting. If you want to play
Absolutely.
towards that
Now-
tactic, it is a very interesting tactic to go with.
Now, not quite this box, but I did have some an idea about that one, which was a fairly new ship that's come out recently, the Shadowcaster. Okay, and in particular, a Sarge Ventress. So have a think about this. Move in fine front of a ship, use the rig cargo chute to drop a debris field on them. Suddenly, they're in
Extra.
cover. Ventress has an elite pilot talent. If she has trick shot, suddenly she's rolling an extra dice when she shoots them. They get a stress from the cargo chute, from being on the debris field. They get a stress from a Sarge Ventress, double stress. When you shoot them with your extra attack die, if you happen to hit at all, you can barrel roll them. And if after that barrel roll they still end up on the debris field,
get another
that's
stress.
a third stress that turn.
And then
If
Other
they're-
cool thing that you can add on to
They
that, as
attack-
well as tactician,
yes.
which is cool. So you then
Although-
force stress them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although that might not work with the cargo
No,
chute
not, but-
because the cargo
That
chute
will
That's a
Race
lot of
Yeah.
stress tokens.
Now, here's the thing. If by chance that barrel roll happens to make it so that next turn their manoeuvre must go over the debris field,
Relatively
then
easy.
even if they do a green manoeuvre, they're still going to be on 3 stress after that turn.
Yeah.
With a Sarge Ventress in front of them.
That's
Gives
a
them
bit
they're not
diabolical.
taking action
That's
for
a
the rest
bit
of the game.
diabolical.
Yeah.
they're
Okay.
done at that point.
I love it. But,
And worth noting that as a final present, the Shadowcaster has not 1, but 2 illicit
yeah.
slots, which means if
Fire it
you,
again.
if you either buy another dice, or alternatively you borrow another card and debris template from a friend, you can do that again.
And suddenly they're on 6 stress.
Suddenly they're on stress.
Absolutely.
I'm going to quickly move us on because we haven't got a lot
Yeah.
of time
Yeah.
and we need to get through all of these. So the
on
second
to
things.
elite pilot talent.
My favourite card of this expansion. I think you're going to see it in so many different places on so many different ships. Snapshot. 2-point elite pilot talent. After an enemy ship executes a manoeuvre, you may perform this attack against that ship.
They
The
have to
attack-
hit range 1 though. That's the only thing I should say.
It's a range 1 attack, 2 dice. Attack 1 ship. You cannot modify your attack dice and cannot attack again this phase. It's done in the activation phase, so you can't use multiple snapshots from one ship in one turn, but you still get your normal attack in the combat phase.
Can't you?
If more than one ship ends up in your firing arc at range 1, you can snapshot all of them.
No, you can't, because you can't attack again this phase.
Okay.
Oh yes, you cannot attack.
You're basically
Yes, okay.
foregoing your normal attack to do that, but it's
No,
basically
no,
No, you're not forgetting
This
your
phase.
attacks.
this phase.
It's when they execute their maneuver before they take their actions in the timing windows. Before they take their actions, you get a 2 dice shot at them
Yes.
that you can't modify.
Yeah.
But in the same way, this is also good for when they do, for example, arc dodgers. Arc dodgers
Yes.
like being able to go, I want to try and dodge your arc. Suddenly they're flying into you, they would normally try to dodge your arc, but then go,
That's
I
why-
still get the
yeah.
shots.
That's why you
so,
put this on the end none with a stress bot.
Yeah, near numb with a stress bot. Is
They come into
amazing.
range 1 of you, you shoot them, they get stress, you use the
can't
end nun's
do that.
ability to
Yeah.
not get stress. They
So,
don't get actions anymore.
And then you still get your shot, so you've put
Yeah.
2 stress on them.
free.
As an example, if it's like a Soontir Fell does a
Or
maneuver
Inquisitor
into your
or
range
something.
1, Soontir Fell's now stressed and doesn't get his actions.
And that's death sentence with Soontir Fell. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and I think this is one of a new wave of cards we're seeing. FFG have recognised that arc dodging has become so powerful, and I think we're starting to see some of the tech just to balance it out. Not kill it, but just to
Yeah.
balance it out a little bit and give jousters a little bit more to do.
I think
Speaking of jousting, the list I wanted to play tonight was 6 TIE fighters with this thing.
Ouch.
I
You
think
just don't go in range 1 of that swarm.
I think there's actually a fair few cards this set that have kind of addressed a lot of the issues that are with the current meta. We've already explained about Han Solo being
Yeah.
a good counter against Pal Bases, this card good against Arc Dodgers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just been so many cool different things.
I
that's
just
been
think
added.
it's a generically good card if you're looking for an EPT on a ship that doesn't already kind of have a fixed EPT.
Yep.
Yeah.
Snapshot is a very good place to start.
Yeah. So, a couple of thoughts I had on this. Zuckus. Now, it said you can't modify dice, but adding a dice isn't modifying dice.
No, he's
No,
correct.
That is correct.
Yep.
So it turns into a 3 dice
And
attack.
You could technically Zuckus it.
Yeah.
Yes.
And second thing I thought, how about Arvel Krenwid?
Yeah?
No one ever
Yeah.
played
No one,
Arvel Krenwid
no one
in his
ever
A-Wing.
thought the Arvel!
But if
God,
he's
I forgot
played
about
as a blocker
Yeah.
with with the A-Wing test pilot, will give him an elite pilot talent slot.
Does that mean on offshoot, Fen Rao would fire a 3 dice snapshot as well?
Yes.
He gets
Yep.
an extra die at
Yep.
range 1.
Absolutely.
That's just what
Yeah.
it says. So
Yep.
yes.
And,
The other thing about Arvel Krenwid is, if he's working as a blocker, lower
Fearlessness
pilot
will-
skills than
no,
your
you can't, no, 'cause
opponent.
it's an EPT. That was the silly thing.
Give him
Anyway.
a focus and proton rockets.
Yeah.
Someone hits him. He's already got the focus. He fires his proton rockets at range 1 because he can against the target of whatever's hitting him. It can't even shoot back, and that's a proton rocket with a focus against a ship without tokens.
Yeah.
you could just say snap and the ship is
Might
gone.
we see the return of Arvel or the appearance of Arvel? Because I've never seen him on the field.
Am I remembering correctly that there is a ship pilot that allows you to do to change the range band of things?
That is the other option
There
here.
is a
So
bomber who does this.
Yeah.
Major
Does that mean
Rhymer.
you could snapshot at range,
Range
2?
2, it's
Yeah.
I believe
the-
it may specify secondary weapons. Does
It
this
is.
count?
It is a secondary
it
weapon.
It is a
Counter-
secondary
Yeah.
weapon.
Now, I actually had Major Rhymer in my
In
Imperial
which
build
case,
for today.
I believe that would work, yeah.
So-
range 2 snapshots.
Yep, Major Rhymer can shoot
Give
snapshot
him
range 1
crew
and 2.
with the TIE shuttle title
And add
You
in
could
a
then give him a
and a
tactician.
tactician.
Yeah.
I
Turn him
believe
into
this
a-
was
into a stress machine.
At range 2.
At
I believe
range
this was
2.
originally
But
put
snapshot
on
will then function at range 2
a,
because he is who
it
he
wasn't
is.
actually Ranger Rhymer, but one of the generic one. The
Yeah.
what is it called? Cutlass.
No,
right, yeah.
it's Gamma.
Scammer.
Gamma
Gamma,
Squadron.
Gamma Squadron.
Gamma
Yeah.
Scimitar or Gamma Squadrons
Yes.
are the
Yeah.
two bombers.
Yeah.
I believe
Cutlass is
Gamma because they
Punisher.
came in
Gamma-
the veterans,
yes.
didn't they?
Yep.
They
Gamma Squadron
have
veteran.
yes, they got elite pilot talents, I believe.
Yes, they do.
and they can. That was originally put in a
Yeah.
article recently, so this is
Yeah.
a good thing
But,
to use on them.
yeah, but I just like the other Major Rhymer, tactician, and just for the hell of it, give him a rebel captive as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
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 No one wants to shoot him. No
Just
one
a-
wants to fly in lark of
Just
him.
a stress machine.
Moving
Yeah.
quickly on as we have
Next
to get
things.
moving. We probably should do some crew cards next. So we've
Yes.
got obviously we had Finn, which we discussed earlier, being able to give an additional blank results art rate for 5 points
Yep.
if you're inside a firing arc.
Absolutely.
But also Ray is also a pilot, as not only just a pilot card, he's also a crew card as well.
Absolutely. So Ray, unique card, of course, rebel only, as you would guess. 2 points, but here's the thing. At the start of the end phase, you may place one of your ship's focus tokens on this card. At the start of the combat phase, you may assign one of these tokens to your ship. Okay, and this is one of very few cards in the game that allow you to store things.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
the
is.
only ones we've really seen so far have been Gonk,
Yep.
storing shield cards, and the Mouldy Crow title, storing focus tokens,
And
which is basically
the-
what Ray does.
And was it the sensor array?
The
That lets
comms
you-
array,
the comms array that
which
lets
can
you
store a
keep your-
single evade
which lets you
token.
keep your evade token.
Absolutely.
It in
But
effect
this-
turns any rebel ship with a crew slot into
a weak multi-crow.
a Mouldy Crow.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Without
think-
having to have a Hawk 290 next to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this is fantastic. Because you can do things like store up your focus tokens in your early rounds, one a turn, but in the early rounds before combat is reached, and then once you focus on the same turn as you target lock or you evade if necessary when you come in, or you can get a focus token even after having done a K turn or having done an S loop or a K, Talon roll on a T70, things like this. If you've got that crew slot, but it's worth noting that there are pilots out there that can share focus tokens.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Couple in mind that I want to think of right now is
Asesh to keep
Asesh Tukitu. Yes,
Yeah.
is the first one. Also Garvin Dress.
Exactly.
Both rebel pilots, funnily enough.
Yeah. So Ray on Asajj Tukitu.
Yes.
Oh, and
I
Kyle
think has
Katarn
a lot
as
of
well.
affinity.
Yes,
Kyle
Kyle
Katarn.
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 We were just talking about
Focus to
Kyle.
everyone.
And
Yeah.
he was like,
But Kyle
Katarn.
Katarn can do that anyway with the
Kyle
Mouldy Crow.
has the Mouldy
can.
Crow title,
Yes,
so
he
he
doesn't
doesn't
need
really
it.
need
He
Ray
doesn't
need
as
Ray,
an
really.
extra one to do it.
Absolutely. But Ray on Asajj Tukitu Asajj, I think, is a fantastic idea.
Yes.
Just on the Millennium Falcon itself, if you're doing those
Yes.
S loops and so on, having a focus token when you do them, or just having
Yeah.
another focus token that turn, I think would be really fantastic
It's
as well.
a 2-point.
Mini Mouldy Crow.
It's somewhere between Mouldy Crow and a recon specialist.
Yes.
Because if you take a focus action that next turn anyway,
Yeah.
you've got 2 focus to play with,
Yeah.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
and it's cheaper.
Absolutely. So I think lots of good possibilities there. And for 2 points, it's not.
I was going to say
it's
2
not
points
really
is
an
not.
issue.
No, it's
No.
one of those beautiful cheap ones that you can throw on, and she's going to do. You know she's going to do something.
Absolutely.
You know she's going to do something.
And Recon Specialist will probably get you more focuses in any single turn, but the key thing about Ray is you
stores
can
them.
do her while stressed.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
can
so it's an
activate
action.
her ability when you're stressed and when you don't
It's
otherwise
moving
have abilities.
unspent tokens
Exactly.
onto the next turn.
You can even do it when she bumps.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a fantastic thing.
So I think lots of good possibilities
Yeah.
there.
Indefinitely. I'm going to quickly move on to what do you think
Droid.
are the next?
Crew.
We
Droids.
still have crew.
Oh, we do have a crew. Sorry, yes, no, I forgot about this crew.
We have the
Why did I
Hotshot
forget about?
co-pilot.
Why did I forget about this crew? This is
Go
a
for
fantastic
it.
crew.
I don't think we have an image for.
No, we don't. No, we have to
So
put it
we'll
up.
give it to.
We'll give it
Give it to the
Such a
disembodied
good
hand.
Ah, here we go. 4 points.
So, forces.
Yes, we touched on
anything
it
shooting
earlier.
at you or defending against you to spend its focus token if it's got one.
Ow.
This can be quite nasty, I think.
Yes, I spoke earlier about putting it on even the Pilot Skill 3 generic YT 1300.
Thank you.
It just strips tokens.
I'm actually going to disagree with you there, or at least in some respects, because I think you want this on something that's higher pilot skill than the rest of your list. Now, of course, on the pilot skill 3 generic, the rest of your list can be pilot skill 3 or 2, but I think you want this on something that's higher than the rest of your list.
I can actually see it going both ways. If you put it on a low pilot skill thing, then essentially it turns it into a more of an offensive for that thing. So things are shooting
Yes.
at it, they're forced to spend their token on the attack.
And then when it
Which means
attacks
that
them, they don't have
They
focus
don't have it
to
back.
spend.
Yep.
But then again, if you're having it on a higher pilot skill thing, then you're forcing something to spend its tokens against
When you attack it.
When you attack it.
So it then doesn't have it for the rest of the round.
Yes.
A thought. So the Hotshot co-pilot on something with a twin laser turret, force them to spend their token against the first shot, then they don't have it on the second.
I would actually
Either that or anything with a recon specialist or it has 2 focus, it would rip 2 from them.
It would
I would
rip
also
them.
see
Yes.
it on.
Anything with Gunner, or
Yes.
IGB's Gunner effect.
Yes.
Yes.
I would actually see it on people that use Snapshot. being
Snapshot
that
as well,
snapshot is the
yes.
first one
Yeah.
that you'd use.
Because you snapshot them.
If they're a lower power skill
No.
anyways, if they're
No.
a lower power skill that you
It
anyways,
wouldn't
they would
work.
have.
You snapshot before they take action.
It says
Oh, yeah,
primary
yeah,
weapon.
no.
It would only work if they had Ray Crew
Oh,
or the
no,
Moldy
wait.
Crow title.
No, it won't work with twin laser turrets. It only works on primary weapons. That's
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Forgive me for pointing out, the card says you may spend focus if able. However, you can always spend focus. You have the option of spending focus to change a 0 result. So therefore, it actually always will strip focus.
Yeah, that's
I
the key
think that
thing.
line of text was to stop people from getting confused and saying, "Oh, you don't have a focus, you can't shoot me."
Yeah, exactly. It's just focus works as usual. It's just you've got
I
to
think
spend
it was
it if you've got
more
it.
errated because of the whole debate with Keen Firelander and stuff. Because obviously you can spend a
can spend
stress
it, yeah.
even when you haven't got any spend. So that was why it was that
Absolutely.
way. But
Yeah.
now Elliot is actually correct.
Yeah.
That because it's worded that way, they may either need to errata that later because of that, or it's something they need to look
And
at
this
later.
is why I was saying high pilot skill. It's the same as Wes Jansen. You want Wes to fire first. That's why VI Wes Jansen is so popular. You want him to fire first so that whatever you're shooting at doesn't have that focus token for the rest of the turn when
Yeah.
the rest of your ships fire.
Anything that's able to shoot multiple times, I think, will be good. So anything with a gunner,
Gunner.
something like Dengar.
Cluster missiles,
Cluster
perhaps. Although I don't think there's that
it's
many.
only
No, it's
primary
only on primary
weapons.
weapons.
Oh, in that-
so
yes.
Gunner was the right
Yep.
choice.
But yes,
stuff like
Dengar I could definitely see
Yeah.
working. I built a list, one of the lists I was going to sort of put forward for flying today was the party bus, the YV666.
Yeah.
Triple crew slots,
Yeah.
that, a gunner, and or IGB if you've got IG.
We actually worked out that me
So
and you
you
came up with
strip
the
their
same
token in the
list.
first
Yeah.
So we both had the same idea.
Then you use your turret.
Yeah. You strip
not
their
turret,
focus token in the first shot, and then you
the one that you have.
If
And
they
with the
defended
gunner
against
effect,
it, then
yeah.
you shoot again. Yep. And then you've got other ships that are the same or lower pilot skill that shoot after, and it doesn't have anything to defend with.
Or I just realised that with Snapshot, Wes Jansen is very useful because with Link Part Talent and Snapshot, he can shoot someone who took a target lock last round, strip the target lock, then in his normal attack actually shoot again, and then strip the focus that they
Focus.
took probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, Snapshot's amazing.
Yeah,
Play
Snapshot
it.
is really
Play
good.
Snapshot.
It is.
Its counter actually came in wave 3.
Yes.
Advanced sensors.
Yeah?
Yes. So not much you can do about that. But even so, the
Advanced
co-pilot.
sensors isn't a counter to it, because even if they move into the range 1 area of you, you still get to snapshot.
Yeah, but you don't deny them actions if you stress them.
True.
That's
Yes.
because that's
Yeah,
what
you're talking about
Oh,
the stress
right.
That's what
bot.
a stress bot with
Yeah.
Yes, that counter is already inbuilt.
Quite
Yes.
right.
But only works on things with that
With the
that
system
sen-
upgrades,
with
which
Yes.
is
the, with that
sought
sensor
after.
slot. Yes, it's
Normally.
not common.
Yeah.
Right.
So it will still work really nicely against a Soontir or an Inquisitor.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, lots of good options there, and I think that's one that we'll see quite a bit. I think that's got huge possibility. Okay.
You can play the sound now if you want to as well.
Ooh.
He's been dying to do this, but I've been dying to talk about this card because I have been I've been excited about this card since they've heard about it the entire time.
There's different sounds.
There's different sounds as well. Oh, that's amazing. We are going to talk about the M9G8s, and I have been so
yes.
excited about this card. This card is amazing.
That card makes me want to cry.
I love this.
I love it. So it is a 3-point astromech, so obviously one of the more expensive
In the
astromechs
upper level of
in the upper
astromechs.
level of stuff. However, it is when a ship has you have locked is attacking, you may choose one attack die. The attacker must re-roll that die. You can acquire target locks on other friendly ships.
Wow.
Oh boy, the amount of things you can pair this with.
Yes.
The amount of things.
Engineer to begin with.
Let's face it, weapons engineer. The first thing we said we were talking about.
is weapons engineer Sharabay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was the list I was going to do. I've been so excited to fly the list.
Yep.
I'm so excited to try and fly the list at some point, anyways. Just because it's bonkers.
Yeah.
it's totally bonkers.
It's either a debuff to your opponent or it's a buff to your own
Yeah.
ships.
Or if you
either.
have weapons engineer, both.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
exactly. That's the fantastic thing about it. You know, it's
Yeah.
like suddenly weapons engineer. I'm going to target my buddy. I'm going to target you. Oh look, my buddy's going to get reroll his attacks, and you can't hit me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, I think weapons engineer is a very, very solid choice.
I think
You
weapons
double
engineer.
up that thing. Target lock in the first few rounds of
But then
combat.
you can only pair it with weapons engineer on the Arc 170s.
I don't know.
But
You could
still.
you can pair it up with a couple of other things. I think there is I think
The only ship in
No.
the game with crew
Yeah.
and astromech.
yeah is an
Yeah.
Arc 170, yeah.
That combination.
at least that
is
combination.
just for the
But-
arts right now. But
I
doesn't
think
mean
you
it's a
can
bad
pair-
combination.
Yeah, I think
No,
you
it's
can pair-
amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
Um,
just you're doing it on
I
Arc.
think this droid is what the Ark was waiting for. The Ark is already an amazing ship. I've lost so many games to that.
I know. I played one of them.
Yeah.
I played one of them as well.
I was playing Deadeye Jump Masters against your Nora Wexley,
Yeah.
and you tore them to shreds.
However, I would actually argue it's not Shara who wants this, it's Thane Kirill.
Yep, Thane would
Thane
also do well
Kirill's
with this.
ability. After an enemy ship in your firing arc at range 1 to 3 attacks another friendly ship, you may perform a free action. So, what happens if you perform free target lock actions? So think about this. Let's say you're flying with Biggs. You target lock Biggs on the way in. Biggs gets to re-roll his attacks, and then once someone starts shooting at Biggs, because they've got to shoot at Biggs, you perform a free action for that turn and start target locking them or other
Yeah.
ships in the
And
field,
then-
or your own ships if they haven't shot yet.
That's
It is
That's
also
nice.
a good shout as well.
That is
Yeah,
nice,
I
actually,
think
yeah.
both of them are going to work really well with that.
Absolutely. Another
I-
one that occurred to me: T-65 X-wing.
Yeah.
And
they love taking target locks.
yeah, but in
do.
particular, there's someone who absolutely adores target locks because he gets them for free
Hobby!
whenever people shoot at them.
Good
Yeah.
old hobby.
So what happens is every single time Hobby is shot at, he gets a target lock and forces an opponent to re-roll a dice. Now, so far, the only thing we've ever seen a Hobby Cliven is an R7 astromech.
You're trying to taunt me, son.
Tom Milson, sorry.
Time is
yeah,
not-
so
is he the
Tom
Pilot
Milson.
Skill 3 one?
Yes.
Yep.
I still think Hobby
Pilot
works
skill
well
3.
with him as well.
Sorry,
Hobby
Tom
is
Milson.
when you relieve a stress, you then obtain a target lock.
Ah, yes,
Absolutely,
we saw
yeah.
Chris
So-
trying it with Opportunist.
Yes.
Yeah. Whereas-
I still think Hobby works well with him as well.
Yeah.
I would actually pair this up with Biggs as well.
Yeah.
Being able
No
to
reason
give
why
him
not.
more of a defensive side to him as well, because
It makes-
obviously I have you target locked. I'm going to make
Gives you a more expensive Biggs.
yes, but
I'm Biggs. I still don't think it replaces his favourite
oh no,
droid,
definitely
but
not.
Yeah.
But I think
the
it's something
other-
you can try.
Yeah, the other one I would say that it might work well with would be Jess.
Yeah.
If you think about it, she's lower pilot skill. She's not a primary target for your opponent. But locking someone coming in on the way in to give them a buff, I think that could actually work
Yeah.
quite well for her as well.
I think this is one of those astromechs, the 3-point astromechs that doesn't really. It has its own assigned targets. I mean, we said Shara Bay, we said Thane as well. But I
Yes.
think it's one of those astromechs you can pretty much use on a lot of ships, and
Yeah.
it's going to
Yeah.
help them in some way.
Absolutely.
It's going to either be very good for attacking or defensive.
Yes.
I'm
I
very
think
glad it's an astromech, not a crew.
Yes.
Because if I saw Imperials using that ability, I would have to quit the game.
I think that's probably why it's an Astromech.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, I think with a couple of exceptions, mainly the regen droids, I think a lot of the astromechs have actually been quite lackluster. They
Yeah.
haven't actually been that good,
There-
certainly not compared to what crew do for the
There's
same
4 or
points.
5 amazing droids, and
Yep.
then you get some that are
Some other-
kind of generic
Okay.
filler.
And there's some
Acceptable.
that are also there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Niche
Yeah.
ones, yeah.
I mean, I think there was a few. Let's say, when we had the Wave 9 reveal, I think there was a few mixed reactions to R3
yeah.
being
Yes.
one of those people that we're not too sure. Is he good? Is he not? Will we still see him? We won't really see him. Maybe not. Who knows?
Yeah. But this guy,
But this guy, I
is
think, is
very
going to be.
solid.
Yeah, I think he can be pretty much put on anything, and it will make it all
Yeah,
right.
98 is going to be.
And of course, it's
gonna be
worth
a
noting
mainstay.
that one thing that you encourages you to take astromechs.
You do get 2 integrated astromechs in this set.
Yes!
It is
Hooray!
the second set. Extended expansion where you get integrated astromechs, and you get 2 copies of them.
Because
it makes me so happy.
You finally get the missing copy of integrated astromech that you didn't get in the core set.
Yes, absolutely. And worth noting, they still work on T65.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's very hard to see any upgrade, with the maybe ever so slight exception of
Auto thrusters on a T70.
auto thrusters and T70, and I would argue very, very niche applications of either an engine upgrade or vector thrusters.
Yes, depending on what build you're
on
doing.
T65 Aces, maybe Wedge.
toyed with T65 Swarm using guidance chips and torpedoes. Little
yeah.
Pilot Skill 1, Red Squadron pilots.
For 2, yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but but they're very niche builds.
Yeah.
And I think Integrated Astromech is great because it now, thematically encourages you to take astromechs, which, let's face it, X-Wings should have.
Yes.
And 2, means it gives you that extra survivability. That extra hit point is very hard to give up when you're looking at any other modification.
Speaking of modifications, another thing that came in this set, which is for obviously your YT-1300 or your YT-2400. Do you remember that ship? I do.
Yes,
I love that
I
ship.
remember Dash.
I haven't seen him for a while, but hopefully
Dash,
he'll come back with
Lebo,
this. It is
lots
a
of
limited
good
upgrade, I will bear in mind, so you can only have one of it. But Smuggling Compartment is now a thing in the game. Your upgrade bar gains the illicit upgrade. This is the first time we've seen illicits on anything
That's not
but a
scum.
scum.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's ludicrous. I think Scum just blew their brains out with this.
This
you know,
is really big.
Um,
but it makes sense, doesn't it?
but you may also equip.
And
one
he's a
of-
smuggler.
Yeah.
This is a smuggling
If
ship.
he can't get his hands on illicit stuff, who can?
Yeah. But not only that, you may also equip one additional modification if it's 3 points or fewer.
And I
no
think,
engine upgrade.
yeah, I
No
think that is
engine
No engine upgrade. I'll say it
specifically-
has to be Pacific
Yeah.
because let's face it, then you'd be going into the territories of engine upgrade.
Yeah.
Shield upgrade is also something you can't take.
I
But you can
think-
take a hull upgrade as well.
I think they've
could
done
take
that
one
specifically
hull,
to exclude engine upgrades.
Yes.
Yeah.
It does give you access to. Obviously, it came about as being a good card all of a sudden with the Dengaroo list is countermeasures. You've already
Yes.
put it on 1 or 2 evade ship. Having an extra evade for a turn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and getting rid of a target lock.
Yes.
I mean,
yes.
if you're
Omega leader's target lock, say.
if you're also doing a kind of build where your big ship is a blocker, a big ship blocker,
Yeah.
a good shout is either having Tactical Jammer as well, or any of the 2 bump upgrades, either Iron Projector or the other
Anti-pursuit
one. Anti-pursuit
lasers.
lasers, yeah.
Yeah.
They're also 2 very good viable options to take on
Yeah.
that as well.
Another one, we've already talked about how Trick Shot works very well with the rigged cargo compartment,
Yeah.
which is a smuggling
Suddenly
compartment
we've got a
that's
smuggling
rigged.
compartment, you know.
So dropping a debris field on your opponent, stressing them, and then giving yourself an extra red dice. That's a nice combo
That's a
there
nice
as
combo
well,
there,
isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
Another thing that I toyed with on the Pilot Skill 3 generic Falcon was giving it a smuggling compartment and a feedback array.
Yeah.
You've got 13 hit points to burn through with a feedback array.
Absolutely. Alternatively,
Yeah.
on one of your favourites,
quite nice.
what does Dash think of a feedback array?
Dash is his favourite.
Yes.
Lebo's mine, but...
What do they think?
I don't.
Because what's the big weakness of the
I really like it.
YT-2400?
It works. I think Dash will be more looking towards the smuggling compartment and thinking of losing his engine upgrade when the EMP device comes about.
Yeah.
Because if they get in that range 1 bubble, you just blow it up, EMP everything.
Absolutely.
Which guarantees
which-
you being in range 2 for your next turn.
Yes.
Yes.
That is a thing coming in the
It
next
does
wave.
ion itself.
Wave 10.
Yeah, it
it
still
does ion
guarantees
itself
you
as
get
well,
in there.
but yeah, it's one of the
And
factors.
you're doing a white maneuver, and Kane and Jarrus release your stress.
He does, yeah.
But you're getting ionized in its 2 ion tokens.
The ion maneuver is white, so Kane and Jarrus
Yeah,
release
sure,
stress.
yeah.
And he's
But-
going 1 forward on a big ship, so it's faster than the smaller ships that are
But
coming
yes,
at you.
that is for the next wave when we have
Yes.
that discussion as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I actually think Dash and Lebo would do great with Glitterstim.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bearing in mind the fact that obviously it does give you an illicit upgrade, so...
How can a droid have glitters?
I know, exactly, right?
We've had this conversation many times.
We've already had this issue with the IGs and with Guri,
Guri.
who is also a droid. Yes.
It's
Forlom can
basically.
take it.
Yes, Forlom is a droid as well.
Think of an illicit upgrade.
So many robots can take
and
drugs in Star Wars. We're not going to risk anymore.
But
Think of an illicit upgrade and imagine what it would do on a Falcon or an Outrider.
Yeah.
You can
So
do that
many
now.
options.
there
Yeah.
is one other option that obviously came in this set that you can obviously consider as well, which is a 1-point large ship only illicit upgrade, which means Scum, you can take this as well. Burnout Slam. Burnout Slam, your action bar gains the Slam upgrade. The only upgrade that you thing that could take that.
K-Wing.
The thing to say it was a K-Wing.
Yes.
However, once you perform the Slam action, you discard the card. So it is a burnout.
Yeah.
You basically use it once and that's it.
So one shot,
But-
get the hell out of dodge.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I
Still suffers the same problem as Slam, with you don't get to shoot that turn.
But
yes, but in the
on
same
the
vein.
maybe on your new Han after you've done the thing that you're away from your friends for, it's a good way to get back to your group.
Yeah, get back to your
Yeah.
group. Yeah, no, it's a good way of doing that. The other thing I always also say is the one thing that I always said that was a problem with the YV666 was even though it had a 180 feet degree firing arc, they get behind you, you are pretty boned.
Yes.
This allows you to turn around quicker.
Yes.
This allows you to, even though you're not attacking that turn, it means you can then make the...
You could do your 2 hard, then 2 hard again.
Yeah,
Exactly. 3 hard is
3
red.
hard.
It's 3 hard.
3
Two
hard
hard
white.
is red.
2 hard is
So,
red.
although
And we
you're
both
doing
had
a very-
exactly the same idea.
Yes, we had that idea as well.
Although you're
in
taking a
our,
very
in our
large
list.
arc in doing so, you are actually being able to turn around.
Yes.
But
It's a
that's
thing.
partly counteracted by the 180 degree firing arc that you've
Yes.
got. Yeah.
It basically means it doesn't make your shuttle entirely usable when they get behind you. You can quickly turn yourself around again. Okay, you're forgoing an action, but then again, you're now there in front of you.
Yeah.
So you can take
and there are
shots
a way
again.
around that. So
Yes.
For Imperials.
Not inferior,
No.
but
say for Bosk with a gunner.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
At
There's
least
definitely ways
not
around
in
that.
any information we have will you ever see this on a Palp shuttle.
No.
I'm happy for that actually.
Yes.
I would never want to see anything illicit on anything to do with Imperials. Let's face it, Imperials are essentially the government of the Star Wars universe.
Thematically,
and
it
let's
doesn't
face
make
it,
a
they
huge
will,
amount of sense.
No.
unless they're underhanded, doing things underhanded, they're not really going to have any illicits.
And it's
Yeah.
a very smart choice. They've only given the Falcon and the Outrider in
Oh,
effect
yeah.
the options to take illicit for Rebels. 'cause
Until Wave 10.
They're the smugglers. And even in Wave 10...
There's only going to be the TIE Fighter.
Yes.
Yes. So yeah, and worth noting that the Heroes of Resistance comes with not one but two of these babies. Yes.
2 copies. So not only can your one YV666 take it, but if you want to, you can whack it on the other YV666 if you're running 2 of them.
Absolutely.
But I'd say there's a lot of things that can use that as well. It's a very usable upgrade. I'd say it's about as usable as inertial dampeners, which is also pretty decent.
Yeah,
So-
and again, mobility-based upgrades.
Feels a
are my
similar
favourites.
place. It's
Yeah.
a different
Yeah.
way of doing it.
Okay,
So-
I think we are safely able to go on to the last category of upgrades, which are gear slots. Don't see many of these.
slots.
Tech slots,
Tech
sorry, I meant
slots.
gear
Yep.
tech. Same sort of thing for me.
Absolutely.
But it is the last things that we're going to cover, and then we're going to
who
wrap up.
would like
So-
to
I'll go first. So, first of all, we have a 1-point tech slot, and this is very welcome because so far there hasn't been that much in the way of options, especially
No,
if Com
no.
Relay
2
isn't
or
that helpful.
Comms Relays 3.
Yeah,
so
Com
far.
Relay hasn't. Let's face it, isn't really a good idea for most T6.
Well, also,
T70s.
there isn't a lot of ships that use tech upgrades yet.
So
anyway,
far.
so
That's gonna
far. I mean,
change,
it's going
but
to change
for-
soon, but
Yeah.
at the moment, there's not a lot
Okay.
that can use that. So,
However, this one has some very good applications for our T70s here today. Primed thrusters, small ship only, 1-point upgrade. Yeah. Stress tokens do not prevent you from performing boost or barrel roll actions unless you have 3 or more stress tokens. Wow. So immediately some things come to mind. Effectively, this allows you to boost or barrel roll after performing a red maneuver or when you are otherwise stressed. Okay? So for example, if we were looking at, say, someone who wants to get up close and personal, such as Nienum, even if he's done a K-turn or a Talon roll, if he's out of range 1, if he boosts, he might just get someone in range 1 after that turn.
Or at the very least, Snap Wexley, who gets to do the boost after doing the high-speed manoeuvres.
Absolutely.
Just gets to do that boost.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's no reason why you can't apply it to, say, your TIE FO, doing some of those S loops
Yeah,
or some of
yeah.
those red hard turns.
Barrel
I'd like
roll,
to.
yeah.
I'd like to see. I don't know what it's going to be like yet, but I think the quad jumper might do well with it as well when it comes out.
I
Wave
think
9.
you're right.
Quad Jumper
Yeah.
have tech?
The quad
Yes.
jumper has tech. It is the first scum ship that has a tech slot.
Yeah,
So
all of the
I
all of
missed
Force
that.
Awakens era ships, except the new Falcon,
Because
have
it's not
tech
a Force
slots.
Awakens
because it's not a Force
ship.
Yeah,
Awakens
because it's so
technically,
old.
but-
Yeah,
It's
Have
something
they
I
all
missed
have
from
tech
looking
slots?
at the quad jumper.
Yes, but
okay. So I think that's a lot, and I think you're going to be hard pressed to see a Snap Wexley or a Nienum without this, unless they happen to want to go a bit upmarket.
With the pattern analyzer, which I think is the last card we have.
we have
Yes.
it is the last card we have today.
Fantastic. Which, for 2 points, lets you perform your action before the check pilot stress step. which means if you've performed a red maneuver, you do your action and then assign your stress.
Yes.
Now, the only other thing that had a way of changing when you use your actions
is advanced sensors.
Yeah, it was an advanced
This is a very
sensors.
similar card to advanced sensors, except instead of doing your action before you move, it's doing your action after you move, but before you take the stress.
So it's a
so
lesser,
very similar.
It's a lesser option because it doesn't give you a couple of options. In particular,
In
you
some
don't
way-
get to action if you bump.
Yes.
Yeah.
It doesn't let you action if you bump, but it does let you perform your action after you've moved, which for repositioning actions changes things
Can be useful.
significantly.
I would actually like to take this on a TIE-SF, actually, because one of the things I've noticed that TIE-SF can do is a 3S loop. And
2S loops.
2S loops.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. 3 2S loops, that sort of thing. They can't really cater. The only thing they can do is S loops. But being able to take an action while being able to S loop is sometimes you want to get your firing arc fine, but sometimes you're finding yourself in a position where you need to turn around.
Yeah.
So being able to have the action ability as well.
When you turn, I was actually thinking of an idea of having backdraft, turning him round when you approach the enemy.
Yeah, yeah.
You still get your action, but you get that extra shot out, that extra critical
Yes,
out
yes,
to the rear.
yes.
So
We've all had the ideas to do it with an SF, but very different ideas.
Yes,
Yeah.
I think.
I like the idea of doing quick draw with a pattern analyzer, because when I play quick draw, I already use Rage and Electronic Baffle with the Twin Ion Engine Mark II. So you've got 9 green maneuvers on your dial, thanks to the Twin Ion Engine.
Yep.
You Rage, take 2 stress, get a focus token, now got loads of rerolls. You Electronic Baffle, take one of those stress away, get a free shot. And
At the cost of a shield.
and with the pattern analyzer added to that, you're now checking to see if you did a green maneuver after you've taken your action, after you've taken that shot. So if you did a green maneuver before you raged, you now got Rage, a free shot, and no stress.
Yeah,
At the cost of a shield.
At the cost of 1 shield.
absolutely.
And you have those shots. So obviously then you have both of you, that shot and your actual combat phase shot with rerolls.
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks to Rage.
I also have just noticed that if you have Pattern Analyzer on Num combined with Push the Limit and R3A2, you can probably get 3 to 4 stress tokens on someone in one
out
round.
of the way in one go.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And Neon Nem, I think, will be a very good one for this as well.
Yes,
The other person who will absolutely love this came in this box set.
Yes.
Poe Dameron. Now, we've all talked about Poe Dameron and BB-8, but let's face it, most people would rather go for R5P9.
Yeah.
And R5P9's ability works perfectly well with Poe Dameron. At the end of the turn, you may use a focus token to regen a shield. Given Poe Dameron wants to hold on to his focus tokens all the way through his shooting and his opponent's shooting, he's always got that focus token to spend. One big weakness of this was always you can never
maneuvers.
do it when you tan loop or K-turn.
So
this means
the
that
pattern
you now
analyzer
can.
gives you access to your red maneuvers and still shield regen.
Take and still do a full. Well, first of all, it gives him his ability after he's done a red maneuver.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, after that, you also then get to regen a shield at the end of the turn as well, and that is huge. I think we won't see Poe Dameron with R5P9 without this option at all. It's just such a good combination.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Okay.
You're already coming in at 38 points before an EPT.
That's the
and
downside.
before your auto thrusters.
It's expensive.
It is
Yeah.
very expensive. I think it's probably worth it though. Okay, and there's no reason you can't run it on the PS8 Poe Dameron.
No.
True.
Yeah, so save you a couple of
still,
points there.
Save
yeah.
yourself a couple of points.
It
I
just
think that
makes
about
so much sense. So much sense.
So I think that about wraps us up. I'm going to ask one last question again. I did it for the pilots. I'm going to do it for the upgrades. Max, favorite upgrade? There's a lot there. I know. There's a lot there.
I'm actually going to need to take a look.
People are going to have to take a look at this. I mean, do you remember most
So
of
pattern
the...
analyzer,
God, there's
prime
so many.
thrusters,
There
smuggling
was so-
compartment,
there's so-
slam, M9G8.
I think I've
Hotshot-
already designated
Yeah.
mine, let's face it.
Hotshot co-pilot, Millennium Falcon, Black One, Finn, Ray, Snapshot, Trickshot.
I know Gareth already said the snapshot. It probably is. It's probably still the snapshot as well. To be honest, that is really.
I think we've got two
really
snapshots
nice.
there.
Snapshot
Okay.
Brothers.
Yeah.
It's got so many possible uses.
They're both
for
snapped
extra
for
shots.
snapshot.
Yeah. Hey, counter.
No one's ever realised I've been making puns the entire time. And it's,
Oh, I've heard them.
I have got.
I've been trying
I
to
have
ignore
got
them, to be totally
3 I really like in this set. I can't just choose one. I am terrible, and that is I raged about. I completely went bonkers for this card. M9G8 was the first one.
Love it.
Absolutely adore it. It's fantastic astromech. You can do so much with it. Most ships that have astromech
Yeah.
can take this. Let's face it. Other one is Finn. Love Finn. Finn is really good. Whack him on, and suddenly he's giving anything that has either Lone Wolf or any way of rerolling dice and stuff. Ray as well. Just being able to utilize him so much. I mean, a lot of people when he first.
Jess Parver can't take a cruise slot.
Yeah. It's a good thing as well, let's face it. But it's one of those cards that a lot of people didn't like, and I am. It kind of upset a couple of us because it was just like, well, he's really good. Like, even for 5 points, he's really good. He's adding a result,
I think
which
the
is a
key
lot
thing-
powerful.
Yeah, I think the key thing about Finn is he's really good on Ray. I think he's overcosted than anyone else. It's a natural combination.
Yeah.
I'm not sure we'll see him on much, if anything, outside of
Finn
that.
actually pairs quite nicely with M9G8. If you're target locking the ship that has Finn on it, when it attacks, it can then re-roll that dice.
And my last favourite, because I had 3, I'm terrible, I can pick just one. Burnout Slam. Being a scum player, sitting in a booth full of rebels.
You have to take the illicit.
I can't ignore the fact that this set gives scum something, and that something is a Burnout Slam, which is so beneficial to obviously YV666, which I mentioned earlier. Being able to just turn that around suddenly makes it more usable, suddenly makes it more add a lot more to it, and I think a lot of ships could benefit from that as well. I can see Fire Spray using it. I can see what's
Zuckus using
Zuckus
it.
maybe using it as well. Yeah,
I've already toyed
Oh no, not
with-
Zuckus, because Zuckus is not a large B ship. It is a large ship. only
Large ship only. My
Yes.
I've
apologies.
already
So-
toyed with running Burnout Slam on an IG.
Yep, as well. So I don't think it's one of those things that if you have a point left. And you feel like inertial dampers is just not something you'd want to take, Burnout Slam is also a good viable option as well.
Absolutely. Okay.
Sorry, Hedgehog, I took away from your
That's
time.
quite all right. My favourite. Okay, I'm going to choose a slightly out of left field one here. Okay,
Yeah.
I think some of the ones that have already been chosen are better,
Yeah.
and are going to see more play. But the one I think does the best things for the game is this baby, the new Millennium Falcon title.
I can see that. I can see that.
Let's face it, the old Falcon was kind of dull. You know, it's a primary turret. Your flying is a lot less important because as long as you get a shot, unless you fire against auto thrust, it doesn't actually matter where you're shooting because you've got the 360 turret. And then the title, you get an evade action. Is it good? Yeah, gives you some extra defense. Is it interesting? I don't think we can really say it's interesting, can we? The new Falcon, especially with the Ray pilot, but even without it, this is a whole breath of fresh air. This is an entirely new game that we're playing here. Suddenly, you want to get, with Ray, you want to get that arc. With Finn, you want to get that arc. With Finn and Ray, you absolutely want to get that arc.
Yeah.
And letting the Falcon turn round like that, giving it some new options for slooping, suddenly, this isn't a turret anymore. This is a jouster.
Yes.
And changing a turret ship into a jouster,
With
in
a turret
particular,
backup.
the dullest, in my humble opinion, the dullest turret ship in the game, into suddenly a really interesting jouster where your piloting matters above all else. Good work, FFG.
Yeah.
That is what I
Yeah.
want to see in the game.
Yeah.
That is really what I enjoy.
I do think when you see that title, you will see it most often on Ray because of the benefit.
think you're
from the
right,
fire
yeah.
arc.
I would see it on most others as well. Being able to, okay. If you're playing I'd say if you're playing a push the limit build, take the old one because obviously having more upgrades to benefit from is good.
Yep.
Yes.
If you're not taking push limit build, take this one instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the better option of the two if you're not doing push limit. This is
Yeah.
just being able to utilize yourself.
Getting those sloops is
Being able to.
absolutely.
I also want to give the
It's
shout out to
wonderful.
Black One as well. I mean, what an amazing title card.
Especially as I think that actually brings it because so far R5P9 has just been too good for Poe.
Yeah.
No one ever took BB-8. I think the Black One title might swing it a little bit the other way. I think
Yeah.
we'll still see more R5P9s, but I think we will actually see some BB-8 Black
Yes.
Ones now.
I'm a little bit saddened by the fact that I think you'll see the Black One on more often on pilots that are not Poe.
Snap and Nien, I think
Yeah.
you might be right there as well. We'll see it more on that.
I
yes.
would probably argue we see it on Red Ace as well.
Yeah.
Can't take it.
Can't take it
unless
all?
they take the EPT
Obviously, if
droids.
it's an
Oh,
EPT
no.
droid, yes.
Yeah, and you really want R2D2 on Red
Yeah,
Ace.
I know.
Sorry.
That's fair enough. But otherwise than that, it's just a way of getting rid of munitions. It's a way of getting rid of a mega leader.
Absolutely.
As I was saying before, there are so many things in this set that are dealing with a lot of the meta right now.
Yes,
A lot of the
absolutely.
things that are coming at it, and this set just goes right. We're gonna
It's
bring
something
we're
I
gonna
think,
bring the rebels back.
It's something
There's a
between-
lot of ways to attack before people take actions.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
things like quick draw, snapshot, other things as well.
Between this and the FAQ, I think FFG, what they're really trying to do is just completely shake up the meta.
Yes.
This is shaking up a lot of like.
They're getting rid of the cookie cutter list. So
Yes.
Yes.
I'm a big culprit of it. I flew 3 Jump Masters myself for a long time.
Still a little sore on that, by the way, FHG. He is still a little bit sore.
Ditto.
but it's changing things. It's shaking things up. It's stopping.
Absolutely.
We had it basically one list and one list archetype.
With the loss of Deadeye
being-
from the Scouts, it gave opening for Palp Aces or Triple Aces to be the best list to play.
Yes, which this is starting
in,
to
in a
counter.
tournament setting. And now they're starting to come out with upgrade cards that start to deal with aces.
Yeah.
Thanks.
We started a burn counter as well? Wow!
From the amount of comments, that should be at about 10s.
One thing that I will say, I stated it a moment ago, but I'm going to say it again. It's bringing Rebels back.
Yes.
It's because FFG realised, especially looking at tournament structures,
The Rebels haven't been doing very well.
the Rebels haven't been doing very well. The Rebels have been pushed aside completely, completely whacked to one side. Imperials were dominating with Power
Yeah,
Bases.
completely.
Scum were dominating with the Triple Jump Masters. As soon as you bring anything Rebel forward, it was just shoved aside.
Yeah.
This deals with so much of that.
Yes.
I think
Obviously,
so.
FAQ on top of that.
The combination of the new Heroes of Resistance pack and the Rebel ships that we got in Wave 9, the Arc 170, it finally gives Rebels that hammer. They've already got all of the support ships they could dream of. It finally gives them that hammer to put the nail in.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I don't think it's that. I think it's more.
Well, I think that's about time to wrap up this. But thank you very much for joining us at the Athena table in the booth with some wonderful people here.
Yes,
I'm going to
thank you for Athena for having me here.
a few extra people this time. We didn't have. Thank you very much to Max Ball, Gareth Chambers, and Hedgehog. Keep in mind, guys, that at the 19th of November, we have our Escalation Tournament. It is a fantastic tournament. If you want to come down, please do. Fantastic roll. It is £5 entry, £5 entry. Into play, you make 4 lists, 60, 90, 120, 150. You start with a 60 list and you add on top of that, keeping the same as you did before.
Yep.
It is a fantastic structure to bring out something really wacky and wild if you want to.
Absolutely. We see so many different things in an escalation tournament as opposed to the 100-point dogfights.
Yes, the other thing I will point out is this is legal. This set will be legal in Escalation as well, so if you want to come up with some wacky wild idea with these guys, do so.
I'm certainly going to be trying to look to fit some T70s in there.
We also have, on the 10th of December, the Bailout Blitz tournament. It is a charity tournament for a lovely group of people.
Get me out of the 4 walls. Is it
Yes,
called?
something that get out of the 4 walls. They're a lovely bunch of people. One of our local people, Toby Brown.
So charity will be.
So most proceeds, all proceeds
proceeds.
will be going to the charity itself. We're not keeping any of it here.
Great gesture
It's
by
a great
Athena
gesture.
as well.
We have some fantastic prize pools as well for it
Yes.
as well. We also, for starters, we have a Mega Ace. Oh, sorry, is it a Mega Ace? A Mega Ace.
a Mega Ace.
Mega Ace. Different alternate art card. Look at that. Look how pretty it is. Look how
Only
amazing it is.
available at Gen Con.
Only available was only available at Gen Con originally. We now have a few ourselves, so definitely come down and play that. Our top prize, though, and we are so chuffed to get this, is a wonderful alternate art card
It's
of
not
Biggs.
alternate art,
Not
it's,
alternate art.
stamped.
Stamped art card of Biggs Darklighter. It is embossed. It is thicker than the regular card. It's made of obviously plastic. But it's so gorgeous. I mean, look at that. It is absolutely fantastic. I think everyone wants that card if you're a Rebel player.
Yes.
It is a fantastic card. And you will be playing for it in the Bailout Blitz.
Previously that was only available at Gen Con.
Only a Gen Con, yeah.
So,
We are so
lucky to have
lucky, so chuffed to get a hold of those as prizes for the tournament. We've also got a whole bunch of other prizes as well that we're going to be pulling in as well. There's also going to be a bake sale there as well. To try, but all proceeds will go to the Water of the Cherry, and we would very much like it if you come down.
Yep.
10th of December.
Format there is a single 32
Single
point
32
ship.
Small ship.
Small
Has to be
base
small
ship
ship.
only.
Yeah, small base ship only. You have 4 players on a board. And it's basically anything goes.
I've already been.
You can make alliances with the guy next to you. Like, hey, I don't like this guy. Do you want to try and kill him with me?
Yep.
You know, anything goes. It is bonkers crazy. It's hilarious. Some amazing things can come out with it.
And
Come
it's
down,
really
play it.
interesting to see what kind of things people come up
Oh
with.
yes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to
I
it.
have
When you're
definitely done
restricted
my
to a
work on it.
32-point ship.
Yes. There's a lot of different options,
You
but at the
see
same
a lot
time,
of ships that you
some
don't
of the
see elsewhere.
some of the top meta ships are more expensive than that. Yeah.
So you better not bail out in this blitz. But thank you very much. I had to fit one more.
In there like lightning.
But thank you very much, everyone, for taking a listen into our Heroes of the Resistance unboxing. My name is Chris Turner. I'm joined with these lovely people around me, as well as our tech guy behind the scenes,
The Thing.
also known as Mr. Baker. Thank you very much, and we will see you all for Wave 10 of X-Wing. Fly casual.
Bye bye. May the force be with you.